Hi guys, welcome to Brand X Reviews. Today I'm just going to be talking quickly about Roger Moore and what I kind of think and how I feel about him passing away, because it's a really sad day. I mean, it's generally a sad day anyway in the UK because we had a real disaster, a real tragedy where there was a bombing and a number of people got killed at the Manchester Arena. A number of children got killed as well. So that's really overshadowed the fact that Roger Moore's passed away, both in the news and also in my mind, which wouldn't have expected. Well, I would expect that to feel that way when both things happened, but I didn't think, the day that the first James Bond actor from these films that I've loved and followed most of my life, that on that day it would be overshadowed with something even worse. So a really sad day in the UK, and I know Roger Moore as well. As much as I kind of lament his death, him being an ambassador for UNICEF and all, he would be the first person to say, don't mourn me on today because a lot of children have been killed. So there's a number of different ways of looking at this, and it's one of the things where when you talk about it, you can't do right for doing wrong. But the purpose of this video is to talk about Roger Moore anyway, but I did want to mention the Manchester tragedy as well in that context. But yeah, seriously, like I say, James Bond is the biggest thing that I've been into. All of my adult life and a lot of my life when I was a child as well. It was something I kind of really got into when I was about 14 or 15, something like that. And it's been one of those things, and I know a lot of Bond fans feel the same way. And I mean, to me, things like Star Wars as well have been a big impact on me. And through tough times in my life, especially when I was younger and I was a child, I grew up. I don't want to go on about my past, but I grew up in a very dysfunctional, fairly violent household. And to me, the point I'm making with that is James Bond was kind of a go-to to escape from all that, and not just escape from bad things happening in the household, but the kind of baggage that it gives you as well. So it was kind of good to have that level of escapism, really. And James Bond was my number one go-to, really. I mean, I've spoken about this before in other videos as well. I think I did when Carrie Fisher passed away as well. Just to put it in context, we don't necessarily know these celebrities. We haven't met them, but, their work plays a big role and has a big impact. And I said this last week about Chris Cornell as well. He was my favourite singer. Easy to say when somebody's passed away, when it's a celebrity, this person was my favourite singer, actor, whatever. Chris Cornell was literally my favourite singer. And then only a few days later to lose an actor that's played literally my favourite character, the first actor in that franchise to have passed away. I know there were the other guys that played him in the other franchises, Peter Sellers, David Niven, Barry Nelson, they've previously passed away. But Roger Moore is the first of the 6 actors to have played Bond. And it's kind of weird because this picture I actually bought, that I've got on my wall in the background, I actually bought that about 2 weeks ago because I wanted to have a collage of all the James Bond actors. And I was thinking when I bought it, it's so great that all these guys are still alive, 55 years after this franchise began. It's really quite a legacy that they're all still alive. So for Roger Moore to pass away now, it's really sad. And I know he had a good stretch, and that's kind of innuendo he would put into one of his Bond films. God, they were bad for that. I cringe watching some of especially the 70s James Bond films. It's like, they are so bad. I mean, in a good way. Just that kind of level of humour. And some of the great Roger Moore moments just crack me up every time I watch them. Like, I think it's in For Your Eyes Only where it's not even that big of a thing. It's just, to me, there's a bit where he's being chased by these bad guys and the cars kind of pull alongside each other and he just kind of looks sideways and just kind of glance. I can't even replicate it. It was a trademark Roger Moore kind of raised eyebrow kind of signature thing that he did. But it's just so funny. It always makes me laugh every time. It's not even a comedy, and it's funnier than most comedies. And again, For Your Eyes Only, somebody commented this on another YouTube video I was watching about Roger Moore on, not Oliver Harper, Calvin, Bond fan, reviewer. The quote I think it's when he's in a monastery and he goes in and sees Q who's dressed up like a religious guy, and he steps into the confession booth and says, Bond steps in there and says to Q, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned." And Q just comes back with, "That's putting it mildly, 007. It's one of those things I think that Roger Moore really offered to James Bond, another side of it that Sean Connery, not saying he couldn't pull it off, but he didn't. That wasn't his thing. It was a lot more light-hearted. Some people say it was camp. I don't think it was camp. I mean, I would say Carry On films or The Pink Panther are more kind of camp humour. This was a little bit, it was lighter in tone, but I wouldn't say that. And there were a few moments when Roger Moore kind of had some dark moments as well, where he was slapping a woman around or whatever. A bit where again, in For Your Eyes Only, I don't know why I keep referencing that film in particular, where he boots the guy's car off the cliff. I know it's something that Roger Moore had a hard time doing as well, because he didn't want his Bond to be that violent and that dark and thuggish, I suppose. But that was the direction they were going with those 80s ones, and to me, I thought it was better for it. It showed he had a bit of range as an actor in that character anyway. So plenty of good laughs anyway over time, just with the James Bond films. He's done a lot of other things as well. He's not somebody whose career I've particularly followed as such. I mean, some of the Bond actors, like Daniel Craig, for example, I'm a bigger fan of his Bond character just because of the way it is. But, I love all of them. Even George Lazenby, I'm a big fan of the role that he played in that one film. So it's really sad that we've lost the first of these actors. Now, it was quite funny actually today, because this shouldn't be funny. You shouldn't find anything funny in this. But today when I was at work, and a friend of mine, in fact a regular contributor at Brandex Reviews, member of the team now practically, Paul Cage, I've referenced him many times, came over to my desk when I was at work and kind of looked a bit kind of disturbed by something, and he came over and he was like, "Roger Moore's died," kind of like thing. I was like, shit. So I kind of went round and I told a few people as well, and I told a couple of girls as well that are probably, I think they're in their early 20s, something like that. I said, "Oh, Roger Moore's died." And they said, "Who? Unbelievable, unacceptable." I'm sorry. So a few of us kind of laughed and said, "James Bond, kind of like one of the most famous characters in the world." And they were like, "Oh yeah, I think I know who you mean." And I'm like, "Look, come round my desk. I have a chart on my desk with all the James Bond actors. I'm that big of a James Bond fanatic. Most people have charts on their wall of, relating to work that they do. I have a chart on there with all the James Bond actors, all the names underneath. That's pretty bad." And so this girl comes round and she's looking at it and she's like, "Oh, that's the one. I thought you meant, I was thinking of Pierce Brosnan." I thought, "Pierce Brosnan?" I was like, "Okay, it's close enough, I'll let you get away with that." And then this other girl shouts out, "Isn't he that talk show host, the one that's really mean?" And I'm like, "No, that's Piers Morgan, for God's sake." So quite funny actually. So we had a few laughs anyway to that, kind of lighten things up with this this really sad day. So like I said, nothing really much else to say, to be honest. I'll just keep repeating myself saying that I'm very sad, but like I said, literally, when it's so easy when a famous person dies for you to say, "Oh, I was such a big fan of theirs, they were my favourite," whatever. And in a lot of instances, it's true. I mean, George Michael passed away at Christmas. I was a big George Michael fan, but not as big a fan as I was of Chris Cornell's music. He was my favourite singer. He passed away a few days ago. Then today, Roger Moore passed away. My favourite character that's ever been in anything, TV or film. I mean, look, like I said, look at my room. This isn't put on display for this video. This is literally my room. I've got James Bond all over the bloody shop. I mean, this thing here, look at this. This is not for the purpose of the video. This is a James Bond International Fan Club membership card from the 90s, and I have this proudly on display because I'm that bad. This video camera is standing on a load of James Bond books, which are generally here anyway. I had to kind of take some off, but here we go. There's a few here. That's what I'm using as a stand for my camera, and I didn't take these from another room. These are in my room by my side because I'm that much of a James Bond obsessed person. So this video isn't about me, but I did want to emphasise my my fanship with this guy's work anyway. So thanks Roger Moore for really giving us something that was enjoyable, and we'll always have that. So I guess in that sense, nobody ever passes away really when there's always somebody around to remember them, and whether it's remembering them through films that you've seen them in, or whether it's you knew them personally, it's legacy. So I'll leave it there. That's a positive note to end on. So I'll say thank you very much for watching. You can check the channel at Brand X Reviews. There's plenty of other Bond related videos. In fact, there's quite a few recent ones as well. So check those out. And for now, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching.